Welcome to the Dumbfounded Dishes podcast. I am Mike. That is Ryan. We are your dipshits of this evening.
Yes.
Of the evening.
What's up, dipshits? Which evening is it? Evening? Are we even on evening?
I don't know.
It's deeper than the evening. It's 90. It's 9:30.
Don't know. I don't know.
I finally ate that fucking edible that I found.
Oh, nice. Which one was it?
I think I told you about it. It said on the label, and it was faded. The label.
Oh boy.
It said space juice or space sauce.
Space sauce.
It was just pretty much just edible oil that tasted faintly of fruit flavoring, but it worked.
Welcome, Shandy Warhol.
Shandy Warhol.
It's 2:32 a.m. where you are.
Oh, that's the opposite side of the planet.
Where is that? And this person's been shredding cheese for over 30 fucking minutes, and I can't feel my arms. I discovered something, guys. Tequila and Sprite is delicious.
You and every 20-year-old college student. Real man drinks tequila alone. And when I mean alone, I mean
by themselves?
By themselves, yeah.
When I used to go to shows or concerts or whatever you want to call it, me and Lou used to get a glass of tequila on a glass of Patron on the rocks. And what it is, it's much cheaper than a shot of Patron for some reason. And technically, it's two shots.
For the amount of alcohol that you get. That's why I sort of stopped ordering doubles at certain places. Because what a double is, okay, you figure a single is 1 ounce of whatever alcohol it is, right?
Yeah.
So you figure a double's supposed to be 2 ounces over ice or whatever. If you get double on the rocks.
You're across the pond. Across the pond.
That's the other way.
I thought I was sober but lost a shoe.
This is the thing about tequila. Tequila is a 50-50 kind of booze. It's either half the 50% chance you're gonna have a great time, or 50% chance you're gonna end up in cuffs.
Wow. So today,
with me personally,
I just have some videos I want to share. I don't have anything really special, but
I got a couple of things I want to talk about. We had some fights last night I want to get to later.
Yes,
the late great Patrice O'Neal. What's up with this guy? What is one of his?
What this guy? If you don't know who he is out there, he is one of the greatest comedians. He died
a few years back.
He died.
Yes.
But had he still been alive and continuing on with his comedic act, I can't talk. He's would be considered one of the greats. He already is considered one of the greats.
He is, yeah. Even though short-lived, he's definitely one of the best. But he died young.
So
took somebody good with that one, man.
In honor of the Barbie movie, I have this joke.
If you didn't have a vagina, like say it was a terrible train accident, right? And the doctor was like, "We have to remove your pussy right away."
I'm gonna get high for this one.
How would you keep your man past? You get a 2-month guilty. I can't leave the bitch right away because she just lost a pussy in a train accident.
How would you keep your man?
Wow. Nothing. You can talk. Suck his dick. Okay. Mouth. Asshole, okay, great. Do you see what I'm saying? You just classified yourself as a series of holes, but I'm supposed to treat you special, but you're just a bunch of holes to yourself. No one said learn how to play Xbox, learn how to play pool, tell better stories, get another bitch that got a pussy to come on in.
He's the man. He's the man.
Yeah, he was awesome.
So
that's what they used to let you get away with that shit on Comedy Central. Now,
is it woke? Is it woke Comedy Central?
No, it's just the viewership is down. This is what it is. I don't think it's woke. I think it's they went the clean route.
Not even. The only thing they have The only thing they have is South Park.
That's it.
That's like the only good thing they have now.
That's the only good thing they have.
I mean, they used to
It's
the
good.
man.
You have the Daily Show
Yeah.
that people watch, but
Who's the host of the Daily Show now?
I think it's a rotating host now. I don't think they have a set host.
Really? Because Trevor Noah left, right?
He left, yes. And I think they had like every 2 weeks it's another host until they find permanent.
That's it went. Okay.
No, they've done this. They've done this with talk shows before. They did this with after Johnny Carson left, before Jay Leno got the gig. They had a rotating set of hosts. They do this from time to time with shows when they can't find a host.
No, I get that, but like it went downhill after Jon Stewart left. Like,
dude, it was great.
I did
when Jon
not.
Stewart was there. That was the shit.
I wasn't a fan of Trevor Noah. He wasn't funny to me. He just wasn't funny.
I liked his he did a special. I'm not sure if it was like Showtime or HBO, one of the cable networks. He did one that was pretty good before he was the host of the Daily Show, and I thought it was funny. I still think he's funny, but it's just like when you have one-sided politics, you know, it sucks the life out of the joke. You know what I mean? Yeah,
no, it does.
And the same thing happened. Like the parody of Stephen Colbert was really fucking funny. And he still has the charisma, like, you know what I mean? But when he had to like give up the kayfabe and then, you know, become liberal talk show host, and join the
it's not as funny.
It's not as funny.
No.
And these are people who are really funny. Jon Stewart comes back as a savage now.
Well, I was gonna say that's
really funny.
When he went on the Colbert and was talking about the lab leak.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, there's no evidence of a lab leak. He goes, you have a coronavirus that starts in Wuhan, China, in a location of a coronavirus research facility.
He was pulling up so many common sense points, and Stephen Colbert was dodging, like trying to not have to go that route. But Jon Stewart sort of forced them.
People have taken a lot of ginger characters. Superman's best friend is now black.
JJ, get your man.
Get your man.
Get your man.
So gingers are being replaced by black people.
But that was in the movie. I thought they made Jimmy Olsen black.
Little Mermaid is now black. Starfire is a ginger. Not anymore.
Well, she's still a ginger. It's reddish. It's just not. She's not human. So I mean, I don't.
The double entendre is that anybody with red hair is a ginger, right?
Well, no, but what I'm saying is like
there's gingers who are like
first off,
very pale and.
Have you watched that show Titans? Have you watched the show Titans?
No, I was sort of intrigued to watch that other one with the kids. Where it's like the Joker's kid, it's Batman's kid, it's like
the cartoon. Fuck the cartoon.
Not the cartoon. No, there's like some live TV show or something.
That's what she's from.
Okay.
She's from the live action Titans show. It was on HBO Max. I forgot. Okay, it's a good show, but the first season gets a little weird at the end because I guess the producers or executive producers or whoever's involved decided to. It was supposed to be 10 episodes. And they decided to end it on 9 episodes instead. Like, how do I do 9 episodes instead? I know how many numbers.
And fuck up the ending
somehow? And the 10th episode aired as episode 1 for season 2.
Okay.
Because they wanted to end on a cliffhanger.
So that's where the cliffhanger was the end.
Yeah, so it kind of screws up the whole flow of the season. But it was a good show. It's basically they curse and it's it's rated R. It's like they kill people and stuff.
More like Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Than it is like Justice League.
So she's Starfire, right? Starfire. And technically, she's an alien, so I don't think you can say she's not a ginger or is a ginger, but she's awesome. And I think she's
you want to hear my opinion about this as far as like changing races of characters and shit like that? If I could see how there might be somewhat of an uproar to old school enthusiasts who want to keep the character the way it was from when they remember it. But I thought Starfire was a Marvel character. That's what I thought. And I thought it was a dude. Or Sunfire, I think, is like a Marvel character or some shit. So I didn't even know who you were talking about. And I'm sure most other, even DC fans don't know who this character is. Like maybe some people do.
They definitely do. I
I
think you're wrong. I think you're wrong.
I never.
Because she's also in the cartoon, Titans, Teen Titans.
Okay. I didn't watch the cartoon.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, okay. I understand. But what I'm saying is,
He's like, I don't fucking know who it is.
why give a shit if it's a fucking nobody character?
Well, because it's not.
Somebody goes like this. I don't even know this, right? If the Blue Beetle was a Latino to begin with, right? But Blue Beetle's Latino now, right? Which is fine. Who gives a shit, right?
I didn't even know who the fuck Blue Beetle was.
Fucking Blue
Yeah,
Beetle
I didn't know who
was.
the fuck. I don't care. So I don't really care about that. I don't care that they changed her from
Yeah.
this,
Who
from
cares?
this.
Number one, right?
To this?
Isn't she a green alien? Go back to the green alien.
Well, it's not a green alien. It's just green eyes. But,
No. Go back to the green alien.
What green alien?
To the right of the screen, you blocked it with this cartoon anime chick.
Go away. Go away. Go away.
Remember that? The green alien.
Where's
That's
your-
probably
a
a
fucking
green alien. I'm looking at a green alien.
I don't see a
To the
green.
right there.
Here?
Yes.
That's not a
No.
green.
Up. Yes.
That's not a green alien. That's just old school comic jargon.
What color is that, Mike? What's her skin color?
Tan.
That's tan.
Yes.
That's not green.
Her eyes are green. Her eyes don't match her skin.
No, they don't. But she looks like an alien, so who cares what race?
That's
she
what
is?
I'm saying. I don't care, but she still has red hair. So
Well, because she has like fire powers or something like that.
her power comes from the sun, and at night she's less powerful because she can't access the power of the sun.
So, if I'm not correct, the sun itself is not red.
Now you're overanalyzing things, for Christ's sake.
So
I'm just saying.
Shouldn't her hair be white like Storm? Like it should just be white because that's the light that comes out of the sun. Or yellow if you wanted to like cartoon depict it.
I agree with that. It's the fact that lazy studios do for brownie points instead of actually creating a character that it represents.
Yeah, and they're also bleeding the fucking source material dry for characters because none of the serious characters are interesting. Nobody's interested in Spider-Man. I mean, not Spider-Man, Superman anymore. People are interested in Spider-Man.
Well, because how many times can you do Superman? You could, I mean...
There's no different way to do Superman. That's the problem. There's so many different ways to do Spider-Man. They did Spider-Man 3 different ways, and it worked.
Did you ever
3 ways.
see... Hold on.
I mean, some ways work better than others with Spider-Man.
Have you seen the movie Brightburn?
No.
You should see Brightburn. So, I don't... It's not necessarily like a great movie. However, it's as if an alien ship crash landed on Earth from Krypton.
Okay.
And-
they're all super people that were on the ship.
And the kid that they find is a piece of shit.
So it's not a good old boy. Like
No. Hold on. Let's see if I can find the trailer for it. I didn't know what to expect, right? And like a bunch of people told me there's a giant bug in this house. Where'd you go? Oh, it's a beetle, and he's dead. He's definitely dead now because I just crushed him under my 401k paperwork. Okay, Brightburn trailer. See if I can do this. No, open.
Yeah, like I didn't give a shit when they changed Nick Fury because they did in the Ultimates already.
Yeah,
You know, right?
that didn't.
They changed Nick Fury in the comic book, right?
Yeah.
And it was like at least 7 years, 8 years before they started with the Marvel Universe.
Personal responsibility. I'm gonna get beat up. No, just stop. Just stop. Okay. Here's the trailer for Brightburn. You should definitely see Brightburn.
Whatever you've done, I know.
What the hell? Give
Is that
some
Rachel
better-
McAdams?
I think so. Come on now. Let's go.
Whatever you've done, I know there is good inside you.
Is it like Firestarter? Like where, you know?
Well, it's Superman basically.
So this person has Superman.
Hold on. I'm gonna get hit in the fucking nuts again, okay? So I told Ryan early before that. Where did it even land? What'd you throw? A mini potato. So now there's a mini potato lost over.
The funny thing is, all the things that are getting chucked towards your nuts look like little testicles.
That's where okay. So early before the show started, sorry to interrupt the trailer. About a half hour before the show started, I was sitting on the couch, and I was unexpectedly assaulted by this hitting my testicles at full speed.
What is that, Mike? Because it looks like a chestnut. Is that a chestnut? What was that again?
This is a cherry plum.
Oh, a very small plum, but about the size of a testicle.
Yes, probably, and it's probably a little bigger, but not much.
Yeah.
And it came flying and landed on my testicle. And she's like, "Oh, I thought you wanted a cherry plum, so you threw one at my testicle." She's ignoring me now, and it hit my left testicle, and it hurts.
The lower hanging testicle.
And it
Which
hurts.
is typically the lower hanging.
I don't.
testicle.
I never thought about that, but thanks,
My left
Ryan.
hangs lower than my right. That's for sure.
Thanks. I never thought about
You've
it.
never inspected yourself, Mike?
No, I have. I mean, that's how I discovered I had a cyst to get removed a while ago, but still.
You should. That's what I'm saying. You should.
But I never was like, this one hangs lower. Never did that. Never. Maybe I have. I just don't remember, and I'm just like high right now.
You ever notice, like, when you have to shave, you're like, I gotta shave because I notice I have to shave. Like, if I'm looking at my nuts, I'm like, my nuts one's hanging lower. It's just,
Maybe,
observance.
okay.
that
I
happens
probably
commonly.
noticed it when I was like 12 or younger, and just didn't really think about it
When
ever
they
since.
first drop, they're dropping way lower now than they were when you were 12, Mike. That's for shit sure.
Speak for yourself, Ryan. I had a, you know how they have like a, whatchamacallit?
I'm not hitting toilet water yet.
A facelift, you know?
Well, you had to have. Oh, that's correct. That's right. So they had to stitch you up.
So I got like a facelift, you know?
Gave you a little Botox
a
and then
little scrotum lift going on.
little shot on the old fucking avocados.
Wow. Back to the trailer.
That's what avocado means, right? In the ancient Mayan language, it means testicle. I think that's a fact. They always tell me that every time I go to fucking that part of Mexico. They're always telling me that, and I'm like, I know, it means testicle.
You guys know who James Gunn is, right?
His brother's picketing hard.
Who am I?
Who am I?
You are a gift. I know it's been difficult for you lately that you feel different from other kids.
Yeah, because you have super fucking powers.
You are different.
You know, this sort of makes sense that he would be a rebellious teenager, and you know, like the X-Men is more realistic when it comes to superpowers happening to teenagers because they say half the teenagers will become bad guys.
Yeah.
And then the other half the teenagers will become good guys with problems. Like that was more realistic. Then Superman went through his whole teenage years and came out like a pristine model fucking citizen after everything is said and done.
Like the first half of this movie is kind of like whatever, and then the second half I was just like, holy shit. The whole time I was like, holy shit. Holy shit. And then I didn't realize James Gunn produced this and had things to do with it.
This could have been his Superman movie.
Married, we prayed for a baby for so long. One night, someone listened.
See, Superman.
Yeah, that's pretty much Superman. And they live in the Midwest, right?
We believe that you came here for a reason. He was in the barn.
Did he find it?
No. It was like he was drawn to it.
This happened in Superman, I think, where he found the spaceship in the barn.
He's not like us.
even has eyes that shoot laser beams.
But is he invulnerable?
In it, well,
Is he bulletproof? Is he nuke-proof?
Yeah,
Is he...
yeah. So the movie has it like it starts off so like wholesome, it's so fucking wholesome,
The baby fucking,
and then all of us like I see. When I saw the movie, I didn't really see the trailers either, so I didn't really know what. Someone's like, just don't watch trailers, don't just download it, rent it. Sorry, not download. I don't do things illegally. Rent it legally and watch it. And that's exactly what I did. I rented it legally and watched it.
Okay, Mike. You don't need the virtue signal about how you support.
I support the writer's strike and the actor's strike. Now hurry up and get it over so I can get back to work, please. I'm almost homeless.
What's the progress with that? What are you hearing? Fucking
They're still not talking to each other, and most likely they're all on vacation because it's summertime, so they're all on fucking vacation. And
do you think anything happens before Thanksgiving?
Yes, I think it's September. I think September.
People are talking about this going into next year.
Yeah, I know. I think that's a scare tactic to get the ball rolling. Mm-hmm. You know, the studio said we're gonna keep going until these people start losing their houses. So I think it's all.
I heard somebody retaliated with some fucking crazy shtick saying that will come or Hellboy, what's his name? Ron Perlman said some shit, right?
I like Tim Dillon. It's like, Ron Perlman's not doing anything. Come on now. Ron Perlman's like, oh, there's more things you can lose than just your house.
Yeah,
come on,
like,
Ron Perlman. You're like 70 years old.
Insinuating that they're going to storm the fucking...
Just because you played a gangster biker for like 20 years, 10 years, doesn't mean you're a gangster biker, Ron Perlman.
He was also Hellboy, and he was also a vampire in Blade 2, which was...
That's right.
The of the Blade movies.
I like Trinity, bro.
Nah, I mean, listen,
it's a joke. Everyone hated Trinity.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
I didn't mind it because I thought Ryan Reynolds was so dreamy.
I thought his part, and I even said he'd be a good Deadpool.
Yes.
Like before he even pushed for that. Like, and everybody else was saying that. I feel like there was like a push in the public that had gotten to Ryan Reynolds way back when.
I mean, didn't he play Deadpool in X-Men Origins Wolverine?
I'm saying even before this, when he was like just out of Van Wilder, probably 2005, 2006. You know what I mean? There was talk about if there were a Deadpool movie, who would play it. And internet, as they always do, had just like websites with countdowns of who should play who in the next Star Trek movie, or who should play who in the next X-Men movie, or whatever.
Did you?
And he was always up there for Deadpool.
Did you see the new Star Trek movies?
I saw. When you mean new, do you mean what came out after 2009, pretty much, or what came out recently? Like, I don't know.
The one J.J. Abrams.
I saw two of them.
So
I saw that first one that J.J. Abrams did, and then I seen the one right after.
Where is it? Cast.
He did three, right? He did three of those.
So, sad story. This guy, if you remember him from the Star Trek movies, the ones we're talking about.
Oh, Anton Yelchin. Yeah, he was in the Terminator movie also.
He died.
Salvation. Yeah.
He died because his Jeep had a recall. When it's in park, it's not in parking, it still roll. And it rolled down the hill and pinned him against the house and killed him.
It was something like
Jeep.
Yeah, but it wouldn't stay in the park gear. It would go into neutral.
Yes,
or
even
like that.
even when it was
behind it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So at that time I was working at a studio, and the studio owner owned that exact model Jeep. And when he moved and the lease was up, so they had to come pick it up, but he's like, use it for now, drive it around, use it for what you need for at the studio. but don't park it on a hill. And I'm like, what do you mean don't park it on a hill? He's like, dude, look it up. It killed the actor from the Star Trek movie. And I look it up, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Fucking a Jeep took this guy out.
Yeah, I would never trust just parking on a hill without pulling the handbrake.
I don't like Jeeps in general. Jeeps are pieces of junk, in my opinion.
They always have issues. I feel like there are cars that you could have if you maintain them well. You could have for 3+ years and not have any issues, 5 years and not have any issues. And then there are cars that after the 2-year mark, something's up. You know what I mean? It's going in the shop for something or back to the dealership for something.
So I saw this in the news, and I thought I'd bring it up on the show. A 5-year-old fatally shot his baby brother while he was on cocaine, while dead toddler had marijuana in the system.
Damn.
So these kids apparently knew how to party. I mean,
yeah. What the hell is a 5-year-old? All right, number one, obviously, 5-year-old getting a gun. Parent left it out, right? If I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, they also apparently left out the cocaine too.
Okay, I have a second question. Was this a trap house?
All right, let's read the story. Okay, it was in Indiana, by the way. It was in Indiana. So a 5-year-old Indiana boy who shot his baby brother dead was high on cocaine at the time, while the dead toddler had marijuana in his system, according to prosecutors. The shocking revelation came as neglect and drug charges were unsealed Tuesday against the boy's parents. I'm not gonna go. You can't assume someone's race based on their names.
How did a 5-year-old prepare cocaine for themselves? Did this kid eat the cocaine, or did somebody chop up a line and make him snort it? I'm gonna guess that this 5-year-old kid ate cocaine.
Yeah, and the marijuana smoke, that means they were smoking around their children.
Yeah. So
the poor kid died from a gunshot wound to the head.
That's fucking nuts.
Okay,
how old was the little
drug?
kid?
It doesn't tell me yet. Their house was considered a drug den, apparently.
So a trap house.
Yeah. 16-month-old is the one who died.
Damn. 5-year-old kid shoot. How? You know what? I'm like trying to like, and you see like kids running around with maybe like toy guns, so you can see like in contrast how they'd be holding it. You know what I mean? I don't see a kid 5 years old racking a pistol, because that takes considerable force to do. So this means.
Speaking of which, you're 100% correct.
There was a firearm just sitting around in the fucking house.
My teenage son went to a shooting range, and he said, "I didn't realize how hard it is to cock back a 9mm." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "It's actually not that easy." He's like, in movies when you see like, it's heavy duty springs. You have to grab and pull that shit back.
So what I'm saying is that 5-year-old didn't rack that fucking
pistol. That shit was cocked, locked, and ready to roll.
Yeah, somebody had it out on a table, for sure. Now, obviously, this is all speculation, and the kid grabbed it, and then walked it over to the littlest kid, high on cocaine.
Do you think he was just fucking around and realized it was loaded? It was like, "Oh, look, ha 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 ha." And
you'd like to think that, right?
Yeah, I hope the 5-year-old wasn't like, "I'm taking out my little shithead little brother because there's only one mouth that's getting fed in this house."
Oh, now this kid did that shit. I know this story. This kid did that shit. Did that 5-year-old really do that shit? He's 5. Did he accidentally discharge a firearm, and then by the shittiest luck in the world, his brother gets shot in the head? What are the chances of that, right? Honestly, even with the gun left out the way that it is, which this should never be. You shouldn't have a racked pistol.
So I didn't read this story. So apparently an 11-year-old kid gunned down his mother because she refused to buy him a virtual reality headset. Now, in hindsight, I'm pretty sure she would have bought that headset. No, I'm kidding. Oh, that's fucked up.
It's fucked up. But I just remember the days of when I just used to pitch a fit in Toys R Us and then somehow not get it then, and then end up somewhere down the line getting it.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
where'd he get the gun from?
11-year-old could find a fucking gun. 11-year-olds are like grown ass people, but just like a couple inches shorter. You know what I mean? Like they can.
He wasn't
figure out-
11. He was 10. He's 11 now, but he was 10 when this happened. He's standing trial as an adult.
So he was 10 when he did it,
Yeah,
right?
da.
So 10 when he did it, a 10-year-old could definitely find a gun.
Where the fuck did he get the gun from, though?
Mom probably left it out. Or where is dad? How about that? Where's the question with that? You know? Mom gunned down, 10-year-old boy did it. Where's dad? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to read the story, but I don't see anywhere where
If
it
it was
says.
mom's pistol, maybe he like took it out of her fucking purse or some shit.
Well, did you see that the shooting? Damn, I don't know if I should show it. Might get taken down for violence.
That's fucking evil, dude. Like a 10-year-old boy killing his mom for a VR headset. VR headsets are dope, but they're not that fucking dope. What do you think this kid would have done for fucking like?
I don't know.
Fucking-
There's a video on TikTok. And it's like a guy's carrying a Mac 10. Another guy's carrying a 9mm. The guy with the 9mm keeps pointing the 9mm at the guy with the Mac 10. The guy with the Mac 10's like, yo, I don't want problems. I don't have beef with you. I'm walking away. And he's walking away. The guy with the 9mm follows him, puts the gun down, and he goes, fine, let's shoot the fair. And the guy with the Mac 10's like, I'm leaving. I don't got beef. And keeps walking away. The guy goes back to get the 9mm, goes, fine, I'm fucking shooting you. And as he goes to get the gun, the guy with the Mac 10 walks over and shoots him in the head.
Wow. I mean,
So everyone's like,
that's still, you know, he's going to jail for that anyway.
it depends what state.
No. No.
What do you mean?
No, that's with intent. He didn't like he went to go get the gun and he shot him.
He
or
shot.
did the guy pick the gun up?
He
and then
picked the gun up,
pointed
and
at
when he
him?
picked the gun up is when he shot him. So he didn't point. He didn't wait for it to get pointed back at him. I'm gonna see if I can find the video. Shit, I knew I should have saved
I mean,
it.
if the argument could be made that he was in fear for his life at that moment, after trying to defuse it, if there's video evidence of him trying to defuse it, he could probably get off. But they would want to maybe press charges in certain jurisdictions for sure. If you're in New York, for sure you're going to jail for doing that. I think there might be some other states. I don't know if I know in Texas, you know, Florida maybe because it's stand your ground. He might have gotten off.
Now I can't find it. But like you have to see the video because he was like, I don't got a problem. I'm walking away. I don't got a problem. And the dude with the 9mm just kept pointing the gun at the dude 10. The dude kept like moving like, yo, stop. And the kid has the Mac 10 in his hand. He's like, yo, stop. I don't have a problem.
Yeah.
Like I don't have beef with you. But then once he put the gun down and then picked it back up, the kid just went pop, pop, pop.
I mean, he gave him fair warning more than once, right?
Yeah.
And said, I have no beef, and that guy said, I'm going to kill you, and went for the gun.
Yeah, basically.
If he said, I'm going to kill you, and went for the gun, that's definitely self-defense. In a stand-your-ground state, that's definitely
I think this is a
100%
standard.
legal.
It's an open carry state and a stand your ground state.
Open carry. They're a little bit more lax with that shit. That sounds like mutual combat. You know what I mean? Like, in some states, you could technically duel somebody. You know what I mean? There's some, like, old archaic lores. I got the edible slurs. Old archaic laws that you can still do, like, some fucking, slap somebody in the face with the fucking, with the glove and challenge them to a pistol duel. Would you do that shit? One bullet.
No.
Somebody challenges you for your honor.
No.
What if they slapped you in the face with a white glove?
I'm taking them down and putting them in a triangle choke and choking them out.
What a
Boom.
Darce choke. Speaking about Darce choke, somebody got Darce choked yesterday.
Yes, that was very, very nice.
Yes. That was a good pay-per-view yesterday for not having any real belts on. It was pretty
I
good.
feel bad for Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier is
Yes.
the man, and
he's number 3 now because
yeah, it's 1-1.
1-1.
But still, he got caught. He got caught hard.
That kick.
Yeah, man.
It was like the Usman kick that took Usman out.
I laugh
Leon
at how like
threw that same kick. He feinted left, and then threw that kick like a whip and caught them both in the same spot on the face.
I actually can't do it anymore, but I used to be very good at it. You fake the right hand, so you make it like you're throwing a right, and as I stop from my full range of motion and I bring my arm back, I throw the kick high. So it looks like I'm throwing a punch and I'm throwing a kick.
You're using that guy's momentum going into it.
Yes.
To double up on that fucking impact. And to see so many spectacular kick maneuvers that finished fights. The Derek Lewis knee, did you see that?
Yo, Derek Lewis is he slimmed out a little bit. He's always been my favorite. I wish I wore that shirt yesterday while I was working.
Derek Masvidal, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that he came out with that knee.
And fuck it. And then he threw it when he started taking off his gloves. Like, this man is not retiring. No, please. But he didn't. He threw him in the audience and took off his shorts again and threw him in the audience and threw his cup. He threw his cup.
He said, "Give this to Joe. Give this to Joe." He wanted to give his shorts to Joe. Then they made him put shorts back on. But that was fun to watch because that might be his last fight in the UFC. I think he has like a contract thing coming up. He's fun, dude. And everybody knew my balls is hot. He took his pants off. His post fights are the shit. He's legendary. Hall of Fame.
Man. Hall of Fame. His Instagram is hilarious too.
And he had isn't he up there with like most knockouts or something like that?
Yes.
He's got 14.
And he's a hero. During the storm they had in Texas, he was using his giant fucking truck, big wheel truck, to save people.
And he was towing people out with this giant fucking pickup truck. Yeah. He's a good dude.
Yep.
He's one of a kind. And all the other fights were great too. Like there were so many good fights last night. They were all pretty sick. But speaking about fighting, I did want to talk about this. Not too big of a fan of this person to begin with, right? But I watched the 2-part documentary on HBO Max about Golden Boy fucking Oscar De La Hoya, right?
I'm not a big fan of Oscar De La Hoya.
This is the thing. I have a rule, right? If I really truly say I don't like something, I will still do my research into why I don't, just to affirm.
What makes you feel this way, right? Yeah.
And like me and you, we both share the same feelings about him. Just as far as like, okay, is he? No doubt, he's a great promoter, I guess, for what he does. He's a success, but he is a grade A tool, and there's nothing redeeming about this pity party fucking documentary that they put out on HBO.
And I don't think he was that great either. Like he it's hard. I get it. It's hard to say you're great when you lost to all the greats. You lost to Manny Pacquiao. You lost to Floyd Mayweather. You lost to Bernard Hopkins.
Yes,
you lost to Shane Mosley.
Bernard Hopkins was also a partner
Mosley, not Mosley. Sorry, Mosley.
Who's also, but he did beat Julio Cesar Chavez twice. And he did win, Olympic gold medal, and he did beat a whole bunch of other fucking bad dudes before that. But what he became like what Floyd Mayweather is doing now, doing this circus act, touring and fighting in Japan and all this shit. That's pretty much what Oscar De La Hoya wanted to do for pay-per-view, and that's their rationale in the documentary. We know he's just like a walking ego. You know what I mean? That lives or had lived with the facade of being a wholesome, all-American fucking goody two-shoes.
He's American?
He's from Los Angeles. His family's from Mexico. But he won the gold medal in the Olympics for the United States. He also fought Julio Cesar Chavez as an American those 2 times, but like he's Mexican-American from East LA. And I mean, like, it's a good history thing, and I like history of like fight docs. I like too, especially, but his was just like, dude, I watched it hoping that I could have a redeeming factor about him, and he's shitty to his kids, absentee father. He fucking did a lot of douchey things.
He also
Just-
like dressing like a chick, right?
Who cares about that? I don't care about that, but he lied about it and didn't own up to it and only came out with the truth recently. We lied about the photoshopping. Just because he thought it was going to redeem him in the documentary.
Yo, you're a boxer.
No.
If you're into that, just like, yo, what the fuck? Fuck
It
you.
just made him look like more of a douche. So
I mean, he is a
in
douche.
in
but-
my humble opinion, if you really don't like Oscar De La Hoya, skip it. If you sort of like him, but you weren't going to watch it just for the sake of just to prove to the other half of yourself who thinks it's not a douchebag that he really is. And if you are an Oscar De La Hoya fan, still skip it. It sucks because they really don't go into anything good. They really skim over his history over the course of 2 hours.
Wait, really? They skipped like important stuff?
They could have made it 1 2-hour doc, but they made it 2 1 an hour change parts that they skimmed over a lot of shit. But but they did put in all those losses, like Pac-Man fucking him up, and Floyd fucking him up, and and Bernard Hopkins fucking him up. But yeah, I just sorry, it's like a pity party. Like he was trying. The doc was like a lot of him being like, "Yo, I want to like have my Michael Jordan. What would like Michael Jordan's the that which is one of the greatest fucking sports docs of all time. You know what I mean? And he wanted his Michael Jordan's spotlight fucking documentary, and it just looked like him whining and crying at the end of it, like woe's me, woe's me. Yeah, fuck him. Anyway.
So I'm gonna put on something that should activate nostalgia in some people.
Unlike what they tried to do with Oscar De La Hoya. Is this Pokemon?
I used to
Like,
hear this every morning at 7 a.m. when I woke up to go get ready for school. I'd put the TV on, and this is exactly what I would hear.
We're not gonna get taken down for this.
I almost said the wrong line. Were you a Pokemon watcher?
Okay, this is where I was when Pokemon came out, right? I was 11 years old. So I was already getting into like skateboards and fucking like metal bands.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. See,
But what I did do, now hold on, my knowledge of Pokemon was extensive enough for someone who didn't watch the actual show because I played all of the games. So I knew all of
so like
I knew the team what were the guy and the girl, the
Team Rocket.
Team Rocket. I could probably recite for the 115 Pokemon there were at the time, like maybe 58 of them. I can tell you their names and their evolutions and stuff because I played the Game Boy Color games. You remember?
Yeah.
So that's what was hot. But I wasn't into the cartoon. My brother and sister watched Pokemon.
So like I never was into it, but I would have it on in the background, if that makes sense. Because it was the only thing on the morning cartoons, the only thing I knew of. So I would put it on and be like, okay, Beast Wars or Beast. With the start, what's the Transformers one? Beast Wars.
Beast Wars.
Beast Wars comes on after this, so I'll just have to deal with this until Beast Wars comes on. Then I gotta get ready to leave because I have to leave ready for school right after Beast Wars. So
Transformers, I watched religiously as a kid in elementary school. When Beast, by the time
even the
Beast
old
Wars
one,
the old one, that's what I was watching in the 80s. But by the time they came out with Beast Wars, I didn't admittedly watch them because at that time I was like 11 and 12 years old. I would literally like creep behind my brother and like watch while he was into it watching and shit like that, and I was keeping up, and I was I knew what was going on because I still loved the Transformers, but you couldn't admit it. Like I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but there was a block of my life for about 7 years I couldn't admit to my friends because of how uncool it was before Episode 1 came out.
But
in the 90s, from 1990 to 1997, Star Wars was not cool.
Well, same
for
thing.
7 years, I couldn't admit that I loved
Think about
Star
this. Like I always liked Star Trek. I like Star Wars too, but I always liked Star Trek. But I never was really like, oh my god, this is amazing. But I always liked it. But you could never admit it because you would be considered a fucking super nerd. It's like, no,
You
I.
get beat up for it.
I'm like, it's not.
You
It's
get
not
your ass
that.
whooped.
I wouldn't dress like them. I'm not a Trekkie. I just
Yeah.
enjoy it occasionally. I like sci-fi. Some episodes are good. Some are horrible.
Even though I grew up to be somebody who has actual, like grown up life size fucking costumes and shit. You know what I mean? But back then, when I was like for real, like from the age of like 10, not 10, I want to say probably 12 to almost 20. I couldn't admit to anybody that I was into Star Wars until Episode 1 came out, and I was like, I have to see this.
It was
I
horrible.
have to see this.
It was horrible.
No, I loved Episode 1. Episode 2 was
The
bad.
Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace is
It
redeemable.
was
for me.
okay.
Listen,
It
it was worth watching it, not praising it, but watching it until Duel of the Fates starts playing and Darth Maul pulls out the second fucking blade lightsaber, and you're like, it's on. It's probably one of the best lightsaber fights next to the Episode 3.
So there's several things in Episode 1 I cannot stand.
Jar Jar.
That's just one of the several things. The kid actor I couldn't stand either. I could not stand him.
Young Anakin was whack.
I could not stand him.
Hayden Christensen was better, but I hate having to watch Episode 1 without like a young Hayden Christensen.
Well, I'm not a huge fan of Hayden Christensen either.
He sucked in 2. Sucked.
Yes.
Insufferable.
Yes.
I thought he was great in 3 though. In 3 he made up for it.
He did better, but the thing is, like, I think his best movie is Jumper.
Jumper was a good movie.
Jumper was a good movie, and they did a show based on it on YouTube Red or whatever it was, Impulsions or I forgot what it's called. But anyway, so back to Episode 1. So like the first half of the movie to me is garbage, and the second half of the movie is good. Like
yes,
like
and
the first
and one of
half
the-
is garbage.
The battle's pretty cool. It's
Yes.
fun, but the lightsaber fight.
Yes, yes.
Is
Well,
fucking shit.
I sent you that the artificial intelligent deep fakes, and that was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. It's funny. There's a whole series of them. Of it's like it's Liam Neeson and fucking Ewan McGregor dressed as.
And I
Obi-Wan
think
and
Ewan McGregor was
critiquing-
a great choice. I mean, he's
freaking
awesome.
Obi-Wan. He's Obi-Wan now. Like,
Yeah,
he became
he's
Obi-Wan
fucking
Kenobi.
awesome.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that lightsaber fight in the Obi-Wan show was pretty fucking outrageous and epic. That was epic. You know what I mean? And the TV shows, a lot of those action sequences in the TV shows.
wait, I watched Jumper solely for Jimmy from Peter Jackson's King. Who the fuck is Jimmy? What? Now I gotta look it up.
Who was
Jimmy.
Jimmy from King Kong? I remember Jack Black was in King Kong, right? In Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Oh,
Naomi Watts, right?
that guy. No,
Who?
this guy. He's in Jumper. That's clearly obvious. Hold on. Let me share the screen. This fucking motherfucker. This guy.
Oh yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
He's in Jumper.
Yeah, he's in Jumper.
He's one of the jumpers.
You know what movie I like that like it wasn't like Jumper, but that was good. That a lot of people that was sort of underrated was, and it's
Please
sad
don't-
because
please-
we're not
please-
going to get to see.
Please don't say Looper.
You didn't like Looper?
Please don't say. You were gonna say Looper, weren't you?
Yeah.
You were gonna say.
I
Everyone
like
always.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, me too. I think he's awesome. I think he's one of my favorite actors. I mean, he was awesome in Inception.
It's one of the last good movies that Bruce Willis put out.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so I didn't hate Looper. I just, it's like that whole paradoxal.
I didn't like the ending.
Yeah,
but I liked
it was-
the idea, and I like the relationship between yourself.
Well, yes,
shit.
that was kind of funny. Yes, but like I like Jason Gordon-Levitt. Joseph
Yeah.
Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
He was awesome in Inception. He's awesome in. I mean,
He's in a lot of good movies. And
Yeah.
you know, he comes from Third Rock from the
Third
Sun.
Rock from the Sun, which was a fucking awesome TV show.
That was awesome.
That
I watched
was-
the whole series.
Me
Yeah, that
too.
was
Me
fucking
too.
great.
That was a fucking
That's-
awesome TV show, man.
Waiting week to week, and then a 4-month period of time where the show's not on, and then waiting week to week again. And I don't think I ever,
I watched it
and I was
religiously.
pumped. Dude, if I missed an episode, I'd wait for the rerun that
Yeah,
that aired.
That
like, the
show
next
was
week.
awesome. Like, just it was so
Hilarious.
well written too.
Yeah.
I remember the episode where they sneeze, and he's like, "What was that? I don't know, but it felt amazing." And
It
what
was-
it does, and they were sticking things up their nose to make them
Yeah.
sneeze.
There was like Married with Children caliber
Yes,
comedy,
yes.
but it was slapstick also, and it was corny also because they're aliens trying to like masquerade as humans. And he was good. He's in a lot of good. He's in one. Okay, there are movies that really like sort of put a bad taste in my mouth after I watched it, but it's still a good movie, right? You ever see 500 Days of Summer?
It's a good movie. No, it is a good movie.
It's a great movie,
It-
but
it-
just like I'm like, it's like it's not a tragic fuck my life movie, but it's still like sort of a fuck my life movie.
Yeah, like okay. See, that's one of those movies where
I've seen a
like
lot of
it's
them,
not
'cause he-
it's not a love story,
Yeah,
but it's
which is the
It's-
one where Seth Rogen, where he has cancer. You ever see that one?
50-50.
50-50.
That was good too.
And he was good in that also.
Well, he's a very good actor, and he does a lot of indie shit. And he used to I think he sold the website, but he used to have a website that was for independent filmmakers to just make movies. And that's how he made that movie Ron John or what John Juan or
Ron. Yeah, I think it's Ron John or something like that, where he's like a Guido or something.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad movie.
I've seen that also. I thought I you know what? Like all I remember, and I watched that movie. All I remember was him being like some sort of Guido, right?
Yeah, yeah, and then
That's it.
he falls for what's her face, Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson, ScarJo.
Yeah.
Let's see, how do I share this?
Speaking about Black Widow, Oppenheimer, that what's her name? Pugh?
Who?
What's her last name? From the Black Widow movie, the one who plays the other Black Widow.
Scarlett Johansson.
No, the other one, the blonde girl who plays her sister, the second Black Widow.
Not Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, I don't know what's her name. It starts with a P. Like it's like Pew or Pooey or something like that. Oh, I'm like, I feel like I'm like having a stroke and I'm remembering some like Pew. There you go. Yeah, she's all over naked in that fucking movie. I think Cillian Murphy goes down on her and shit. Classic.
Prepare to meet your muse.
That's totally like non-PC nowadays. Oh, she was hilarious. Look how old the fridge is.
What do you want me to do? Crawl on my hands?
You don't. And the thing is, this wasn't like a dated show for its time. It was semi-modern, right?
Yeah,
For that era.
yeah.
At least I'm remembering it that way. But when you look back on that shit, it really is a
So
fucking-
much, dude.
like,
So
how
much has
old-
changed.
like,
Listen,
yeah.
listen. You're older than me. Not saying anything bad at that, but like even like we're old, and like if you go back to like in our lifetime, the world's changed so much because we lived pre-internet,
Yeah.
and we
Like when we see a tube television, we're like, oh shit, that's a fucking tube television. What
Yes.
the fuck? Or when you see, okay, when was the last time in person you've seen a tube television in front of you? A functioning one.
a functioning one. I have no idea. I threw one out the other day because I found one in my garage for some reason.
The last I could remember was at a laundromat that I used to use when I lived by East 16th train station. Because there was a laundromat there that I used to do my laundry at. They had a tube TV up with the fucking news on it. Like News 1.
That's funny.
You know what I mean?
That's
and they
funny.
had
Yeah.
it functioning. It had a cable box attached to it and everything.
Well,
And
like
it was working. I don't know if it's still there, but that's out of memory. That's the last one I think I looked at.
anyone born today is not gonna know what a VHS is. They're gonna know what a VHS
I
is.
noticed this when I watched The Matrix not too long ago, about 2 weeks ago. I watched The Matrix, and I'm like, this is supposed to be high tech and like, you know, it's got all this techno music in it, but there's tube TVs everywhere. I'm like,
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah.
There's there's phone booths. Like, no, like
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
those don't exist anymore.
Yeah, and I know
It's-
that that's the premise of the movie is a snapshot of 1999 and that just exists in this computer program. I get that, right? But when you see these things like just fucking sitting around, you're like, oh fuck, dude,
Hold
when
up.
was the last time I seen that shit?
I don't think you have Titanic on VHS. It was a 2-tape pack, so it wasn't just one. It wasn't just one tape, one VHS. So you have a double pack of Titanic.
Yes, because I had Titanic on VHS, but it was in a Blockbuster box. That was by the time I got rid of the VHS, it was like
Closed.
an eight-year-old Blockbuster box. That's how old. That's how long I.
Yeah, like I remember I saw Titanic in theaters twice. I don't remember how that happened.
I didn't see it until VHS. I was forced
Right.
to watch it. I
Well-
refused. I boycotted. Leonardo DiCaprio is one of my
Okay.
favorite actors of all time, but I boycotted anything he did after Basketball Diaries because he became such a teen heartthrob that it was just.
Okay.
I was in high school. It was disgusting.
Even when Titanic was released, I wanted to work in movies and be a filmmaker. And it's a movie where I watched on HBO before the movie was in theaters or while it was in theaters, like a special on how it was made. And they literally built built an ocean in the desert. They dug a giant hole in the desert,
Yeah,
Fill-
gallons
fill-
and gallons of water.
filled it up with water, and sunk a boat. So I said, I have to see this movie in theaters. I saw it in theaters, but how I saw it twice, I don't remember. I don't remember why or how it happened, because neither time was it like a date. It was like I saw it with my mother, and then I saw it with like my grandmother or something.
So that came out in '97. So that's a memorable chick flick that you saw in the theater.
Okay, but I used to go to the movies all the time. Like my grandmother would take me to see. I saw The Matrix in theaters with my grandmother.
What was the biggest chick flick you saw in the theater while it was out?
What was that? My wife says I didn't see The Matrix until I was 30. Anyway, what was the biggest chick flick I've ever seen in theaters?
Yeah,
Titanic? I don't know.
that's what I'm saying. That's
I
got to be the biggest chick flick you've ever seen, like
Yeah.
in theaters. I got one
I didn't see that in theaters.
that might be able to top that.
We did not see that in theaters. I did not see The Fault in My Stars in theaters. Who the hell did you? Now we gotta have a talk. Who did you see that in theaters with, huh? So I remember I saw the movie Blue Valentine in theaters, and it's not really a chick flick, but it's like it's not a psychological thriller, but it might as well be a psychological thriller because it's like the guy dates the biggest cunt in the world, falls in love with the biggest cunt in the world, has a kid with the biggest cunt in the world, but it's not really his kid and he knows it. And at the end, it's like the saddest ending in the movie because like he leaves and the daughter follows him and says, "Daddy, wait!" And he goes, "No, you have to go back to your mother. I'm sorry." And leaves, and it ends, and you're like, "It's a horrible movie." It's not horrible. It's just fucking sad.
Is that a chick flick?
I don't know. It's starring Ryan Gosling and the fuck's her name? Michelle Williams.
Okay. Yeah, I never saw it. Well, when I was 6 years old, my mom very seldom let my sister like go out without me. So my sister would go to an arcade and she'd have to take me with her. So the theatrical release of Dirty Dancing was out
Wow, you saw Dirty Dancing in theaters?
in theaters.
You saw Dirty Dancing in
And
theaters?
Dad
My
drew
wife's
the
jealous.
whole movie, and I watched it when it was released in theaters in 1987. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I didn't want to go. I didn't
Hold
want
on.
to go.
They're questioning this. What'd you say? 87. It came when it came out in 87?
1987, yeah.
It came out in 87. So I was born, Ryan Murphy was old enough to see it, and Sarah wasn't born yet.
I was 6.
You weren't even a thought yet. Wow.
I was 6. I was 6, and my sister had to take me. And I thought, like, I wanted to go and play. They had Super Mario Brothers and a Donkey Kong arcade game next to the movie theater, and my sister had to take me to play video games.
Barbie is not a chick flick. It's just a stupid fucking movie. No, I'm kidding.
I'm sorry, Barbie is not the biggest chick flick. Even if it is a chick flick, Barbie's not the biggest chick flick of all time.
No.
One could argue that Dirty Dancing is the biggest chick flick of all time.
Or Titanic.
One could argue that Steel Magnolia is the biggest chick flick of all time.
But hold on. But that's
Titanic,
also
or Titanic. Yes, you're right, Mike.
Steel Magnolias is not in the same category. It's so in film school. It's one of the movies they analyze.
They make you watch, yeah, and break down.
And yes, and that movie and Chinatown.
Yeah, I hear Chinatown is definitely like one of the most studied movies of all time.
Yeah, because
right?
there's so much
Kubrick movies.
subtext and so much.
Chinatown's Jack
Hold on,
Nicholson,
what?
right?
Yes, there's lots of things that happen and scenes you see that there's no dialogue behind it, but it says so much more.
Because of the way it's
like
shot.
the scene where he's like, tell me the truth, and he smacks her, and she's like, he's this, no, he's that, no, he's this, no, he's that, and this. She's the father. Yeah, but like, I understand. I'm not. I know it was a good movie. Chinatown. Forget it, Jack. It's Chinatown. Yes. It was all about the water.
Aside from Kubrick movies, yeah, that's probably one of the most studied movies.
Well, what was Kubrick's best movie? Stanley Kubrick's best movie.
My favorite Kubrick movie?
Yeah.
Okay. My personal favorite, it's probably not his best. Most people will probably say like 2001: A Space Odyssey is probably his magnum opus.
Can I guess you? Can I guess what yours is? Can I guess?
You probably know what it is.
Full Metal Jacket.
Yes.
I knew it.
Full Metal Jacket's my favorite.
Well,
but I like The Shining.
The Shining was awesome.
Eyes Wide Shut was weird and not a bad movie. You know what I mean? It's not a horrible movie. It was just weird.
Clockwork Orange, man.
Clockwork Orange. But the thing is, this is the thing. The reason why not Clockwork Orange, and the reason why
it's based on a book.
No, I mean I think Full Metal Jacket's also based on like something too, right?
I think
like
so.
A memoir or something like that. Anyway, but Stephen King had a different style to the way that he wrote the book than the way that Stanley Kubrick made the movie. Same thing with Clockwork Orange. If you read the book, it's a lot of the parts aren't as intricate as they are in the movie, and Stanley Kubrick expanded on a lot of shit.
Stephen King hated The Shining.
Yeah, he didn't like it.
The movie, because he said if he would prefer if they stuck to the book more than.
Yes, and they didn't. They let Kubrick do whatever the fuck he wanted,
because
which
it's fucking Kubrick. I mean,
it's still a fucking masterpiece.
I forgot what movie I saw that. Hold on, what was it? I mean, I've seen everything he's. Fuck. Hold on.
Oh, what about then the OG? The fucking.
I can't think of it. Yes. What's the name? What's the actual
it's
full name?
It's the fucking name. That's the end of it, though. I just say how we learned to love the Avon.
That movie was awesome.
Yeah. And that's a classic ending that they fucking copied in The Simpsons with Homer.
Dr. Strangelove. Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the copy that in The Simpsons. Yes, they sure did.
Riding the bomb down.
But like, that was such a great movie. I mean, there's so many.
All of his movies are good. Like everything he's made is good. And
he was supposed to make the movie Artificial Intelligence (AI). That was he was signed on to do that film and started working on it, and then when he died, Steven Spielberg took over for him. Which the movie's not bad. I like that movie.
Yeah, I do like that movie, but it's very Spielberg-y though.
Yeah, wow.
You know what I mean? Like the thing is, like when he makes movies, and it's not like you notice, and I'll tell you this: the music for Spielberg movies, right? Like Spielberg gets a different John Williams than George Lucas gets, even though. Like Indiana Jones is John Williams and Star Wars is John Williams. I was just gonna go. It's more grand. Like Spielberg has more of like sparkly sounds in the background. Aside from Jaws, Jaws is probably the most plainest of all.
Well, because he wasn't that for all. It was he had a budget, but he didn't have. For Jaws, it was kind of more of
an indie film.
With today's standards, it was an indie film.
Totally, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, the music is the fucking huge part. John Williams fucking made a lot of that shit happen with just like, you know. But like when you hear, you hear Spielberg, it's a different vibe. So if it was Kubrick, it would have had a complete. It might have even had a different score over.
You know, what's your favorite Spielberg movie?
Oh, dude, you can't make me do this. All right, I love The Goonies. I love E.T.
I have a very weird one, by the way.
I mean, it's hard. My favorites are all the Indiana Jones, the first 3 Indiana Jones movies.
See, I
mean?
those are up there for me but I think it's Schindler's List.
His
Schindler's
List? Yeah, dude, yeah. I mean, listen, dude, fucking Saving Private Ryan.
See,
you know what I mean?
that's what I forgot about that one too. My son never saw that movie. I gotta get him to watch that movie.
But I mean, like,
Hold on, Seth. Have you ever seen Saving Private Ryan? Oh man, we gotta watch Saving Private Ryan.
That's a
fucking movie.
Paul watched it and cried like 4 times during it. I forced her to watch it.
It's such a good movie.
Yeah.
So was Black Hawk Down, but Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah. But I'm saying Spielberg, he made a lot of fucking, obviously, you know, memorable fucking forever movies.
Yeah.
And like listen, Jaws, it's like
Jurassic Park, man.
I know. But my
Ready
favorite,
Player One, you know.
The one movie that I can watch over and over and over and over again, regardless of when it's on, is The Goonies.
Goonies Never Say Die.
I'm gonna leave it on. You know
Goonies
what I mean?
Never Say Die.
I might skip over Jaws because I've seen Jaws so many fucking times. You know what I mean? It's like enough already. Sharks, yes. I'm already scared of the ocean. You did it already.
I had a little drink about an hour ago and it went right to my head.
Yeah, dude. I mean, but I don't know. There's some people. It's like hard. I can't tell you like what his number one is because like I love Raiders of the Lost Ark and I love
Raiders of
the
the Lost
Goonies.
Ark was awesome.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's hard.
West Side Story, meh. Oh, I forgot he did War of the Worlds. That's a random Spielberg film.
Yeah, but it felt like more like he may have let the special effects department dictate that movie, and you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like Tom Cruise has a big hand in how a lot of things happen on the set.
Yeah, because he's a Scientologist.
I feel like maybe Spielberg was a little bit more hands-off with certain movies because it just seems like he has his finesse that you like. I'm saying there's like a vibe to the movie where you know, like in E.T., you get that same vibe from E.T. as you do in the Goonies. You know what I mean?
Minority Report was good. Minority Report.
That was good.
That was a good movie.
I like the idea of that, and I like the idea of that becoming like something that is plausible to probably happen in the future. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this will curb all crime, and it's like, you know, like there's so many different possibilities. It's like, okay, in what universe am I going to commit that crime? Like, really, honestly, like who's to say? You know what I mean? And that could cause a lot of problems, and that's why that movie appealed to me. And I'm not like, I liked back in the day. I loved the first Mission Impossible. I haven't kept up. I'm sorry.
Oh, you have to. Oh man.
Awesome movies,
okay. So I didn't like the second one. I saw the second one in theaters with that dude over there. Mission Impossible 2. But after that, 3 was fucking awesome. And then everything after that, they're all good. I was like, I used to see them all in theaters, and I was like, these are fucking incredible.
I may have seen the first one on like rented. You know what I mean? And the last 20 minutes of the film is
the film. It's like the film. That's the most important part of the fucking thing.
Listen, you know what? And I did it to myself young. I like watching, like I saw The Whale and I cried at the end of The Whale, right? Self-admitted, right? And then you see movies that make you like, that was the first movie I think, aside from Bambi, because Bambi is like the first one that your parents break your tragedy cherry with.
Oh, I didn't cry.
So my mom took me to Bambi when I was like, I don't know, probably like 5 with my little sister. And I was like, they killed Bambi's mom. And like fucked me up for like 5 seconds, but I watched the rest of the movie, right? But in E.T. was like the first movie that I understood with some sort of adult emotion. And the last 20 minutes of that movie was
Is
like
the movie. That's the whole movie.
fucks
You know
me
what?
up to this day.
You know what movie made me cry? The Fox and the Hound.
Well, anytime there's a dog in a fucking movie, dude. All Dogs Go to Heaven.
All Dogs
Anytime
Go to
there's-
Heaven was a great movie.
You know.
All Dogs Go to Heaven was a great
What
movie.
about Homeward Bound? Do you remember
Homeward Bound's a great movie. Milo and Otis.
Milo
And Otis. Wow, we are dropping some old move.
Yeah.
Old.
You ever see Benji? You remember
Yes, Benji was good too.
Yeah. Fuck that. Dogs always are tearjerkers. Anytime a dog dies in a movie, John Wick.
Old Yeller.
I started at the beginning of John Wick. I started fucking tearing up.
No.
I totally I justified everything John Wick did and had ever done, even though obviously his wife in the movie isn't killed by gangsters or whatever, but the dog was, and that's just enough to fucking go ham on everybody.
As he should. It was his dog.
Have you seen the fourth one?
I don't remember. Yeah, I know.
I saw the first two.
I
didn't see 3. And 3 they filmed by where I grew up, underneath the elevated train in Bensonhurst, in Bath Beach, Bensonhurst.
Bath Beach.
I think he's riding a horse or some shit underneath the train.
That's hilarious. Hold on. Where'd it go? I had a cut on my leg I just had. Weird.
Mike, are you performing first aid on yourself live on the podcast?
Yeah, something like that.
This is the first. You should put Mercurochrome on it. Do you remember Mercurochrome?
No.
Damn, you ain't that old then. I remember that shit. It was iodine kind of shit that my mom would put on my scraped knee. If I skinned my knee in the street and had a scab or whatever, or fucking skin, she would pour that shit over it before she put a Band-Aid on. That was before you started using Neosporin. That's what your mom or your grandma would do.
Just pour some Robitussin on it.
Dude, how old were you when you found out that Robitussin was a hallucinogenic?
So, I never experienced it. Never tried.
You never robo-tripped?
No. So when I found out people were doing that, I go, are they fucking retarded? Are these people dumb? And now I hear it's the greatest experience of their lives, and I'm like, what? No, I didn't hear that part. But I'm not. I knew a bunch of tussin heads, and I'm like, you guys gotta stop. And he's like, no, you gotta chug it, and when you start throwing up, it's when you know it's gonna work. What?
I do not admit or deny doing it. I don't remember.
Yeah, good night.
I don't remember exactly. The off-camera middle finger. I don't remember exactly if I had or not. But I remember being maybe I was just out of high school. I was 19, and I found out that was a thing. And I remember watching people do it.
Yeah.
And more than once in front of me, just down a bottle of it, and I'm like, dude, we got real booze, and they're like, no, but you trip off this, and I was like, I don't have any recollection of dabbling, right? But I remember watching people do it and being like, does that really work? Being intrigued enough to maybe try. But that was also decades ago. So
some people say high meat is the greatest hallucinogenic. High meat? I'm so confused.
What is that? Is that somebody who's injected with fucking narcotics in their flesh, or animal that is pumped full of heroin or some shit? Fentanyl cows? If you put a pile of cocaine under a bull's nose and he just took a fucking
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. Isn't that what beef jerky is?
meat that's been left to rot for years.
Isn't that beef jerky?
No, beef jerky's dried and salted.
I was
beef
joking.
jerky, she's talking for years. They're talking for years. I think beef jerky's hung for a couple of weeks, and then it turns into beef jerky.
Didn't they find a frozen, petrified woolly mammoth, and they defrosted it and cooked some of the meat?
I think that's a half myth. I don't think they ate the actual. I think they recreated mammoth meat or something like that. I think they could make a woolly mammoth. I think in the lab they could have a woolly mammoth embryo. But
In
they'd
2000,
have
in 2011, controversial Chinese paleontologist Lida Xing cooked and ate part of another mammoth found in Siberia.
sort of gross, but I don't know. It sounds like bad freezer burn. You know what I mean? Like, bleh. But I mean, I would try mammoth if it were like cloned, like in Jurassic Park.
That'd be so hilarious if they were able to do that and they figure out that technology, but instead of making the dinosaurs in an amusement park, they make them as food.
Yo,
So we're no longer eating cows. We found that velociraptors are much more sustainable and tastier.
what if you found out that like mammoth meat was like naturally high in testosterone? Like it turns us physically into like these like jacked like prehistoric humans.
So apes.
Apes. No, not apes like us, but before writing and before Graham Hancock's, prehistory. You know what I mean? Like way back when we were actually hunting like woolly fucking rhinos and woolly mammoths and shit. And fending off saber-toothed cats.
Neanderthals, like the Neanderthals.
Yeah, maybe, but no, more human. Like we're still us. Like Neanderthals like a separate thing. I think what we did was we fucked the Neanderthals away. We bred them out.
You don't think that. There's scientists that think that. You're just repeating what they think. You're like, I think that. No, you don't think that. We heard that idea from.
I think that too. I think it's plausible that like humans like to fuck.
Humans like to fuck.
Humans have been known to go cross species, and if you had a viable fucking child, those Neanderthal chicks are thick as fuck, bro.
So wait. How do you know the Neanderthal chick look? Wait, what?
Well, if the skeletons are like wide hips and thick bones, I think they were like more hardy than we are. Like they had like a stockier structure. They might have been shorter than us, not like dwarf short, but like average height of a Neanderthal is probably 5'5" or some shit.
My mouse is going crazy. Okay. So the average height of a female Neanderthal was... Thanks for giving it to me in centimeters, you fucks. Give it to me...
Why did you pick metric?
I didn't do that.
We have... we have some...
5'11". 5'11". They were tall.
They were tall? No way.
5'11".
The average height of a Neanderthal female? What about the males?
The males are... Hold on. My mouse is going weird.
What was the average height of a prehistoric human then?
Oh, no. I read that wrong. It's 5'1".
Oh,
5'1".
see?
5'1".
And what was the...
It was 5.111, not,
And what was the average height of a Neanderthal male?
5'5".
So I was right. I said 5'5", right? Yeah. Yeah.
I read that wrong.
Worldwide, as humans, right? I think males are like average height is like 5'8" or something like that.
In the world, 5'9" or something.
And then for women, it's like 5'4" or 5'6", something like that, right? So we are taller than Neanderthals by average. There are a lot of humans that are the size of Neanderthals,
or smaller,
which could prove that, or smaller, which could prove that maybe Neanderthals were bred into us and to give us like genetic diversity.
Didn't Joe Rogan say he has like 2% Neanderthal on his body, like some nonsense?
If you do that Ancestry or 23andMe, I think they give you some sort of
I'm zero.
genetic background.
I'm zero.
You think you're zero?
I did the test nonsense. I'm zero.
It doesn't say any Neanderthal. I wonder how much I have.
50%.
I probably have a lot, right?
I was joking. But
I'm serious. Like if there's like if like a high number is like like 10%, I feel like I have like 11 Neanderthal. For sure.
Why is Grey's Anatomy on again?
When is it not on, Mike? Is it Grey's Anatomy? You know what's crazy? How long that fucking show has been on?
20 years almost.
I think I'm like, oh, it's another rerun of Grey's Anatomy. It's like, no,
It's a new season.
After a new episode of Grey's Anatomy, I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
The main character isn't even in it anymore.
So it is a soap opera, right?
I guess.
Because that's what a soap opera is, right? Like, remember, like All My Children and all that shit.
Yeah, but this
was
is
like,
it's prime time. It's not like on during the day. What constitutes a soap opera? Which they are allowed to keep going on during the strike, by the way.
What are they, stage actors?
They're on a separate contract, and I don't know exactly how it works, but they're on a separate contract than the other unions. Okay, soap opera is characterized by a permanent cast of actors, a continuing story, emphasis on dialogue instead of action. Wow. A slower than life pace and consistently sentimental or melodramatic treatment. So yes, it is a soap opera, I guess, by that definition.
I mean, regular fucking network TV shows, I think, what's the average, right? It's got to be like good shows, like 8 seasons long. Right?
Yeah, okay, so it's considered a soap. What would you say? Sorry.
Like an exceptionally good show is like 8 seasons long, average, right?
Yeah, I mean, like The Sopranos. The Sopranos was how many?
6 or 7 seasons? No. Sopranos was like, no, maybe it was like 8 or 9 seasons of Sopranos, right?
Let's find out.
I know Dexter was 8
6 seasons.
6.
6.
Dexter was 8 seasons.
Justified was a great show, by the way. Justified is 6 seasons.
Breaking Bad, 5 seasons, but they split season 5 into 2, so technically, like, it's like 6 seasons. There was like a year between half seasons with
it was
Breaking
weird.
Bad. But then you get like The Walking Dead that fell off after about season 4 that goes on to season 11.
The last season wasn't bad. I'm not gonna. It wasn't
There's so
great,
many
but
spin-offs. There's no last season. There's so many spin-offs.
Yeah, I
now they're
know.
in New York.
well,
they're in New York,
only
right?
2 of them are in New York. Maggie and
And yes, I
Negan.
know. But
and Daryl's in Ireland or something. I don't know where he is. It's somewhere.
Right.
And
But
then
even still. And what does he come back as the Boondock Saints to shoot zombies?
that'd be amazing. Him and the guy that played Powder, which was a great movie. Not a
Sean
great movie.
Patrick.
It was a good movie, but
And when it came out, it was a good movie.
yeah.
Sean Patrick Flannery. That movie made me angry when they were bullying him. I was like, "Grr."
Yeah, but he has superpowers, you know.
What the fuck
Oh
else?
well,
was Sean Patrick
Supernatural.
Flannery?
Hold on, Supernatural is like the best show to ever be on the CW. Like that's
You
my
think that was
show.
the best show they ever had?
Ever on.
Smallville isn't better.
No, fuck that show. Supernatural is the best show that's ever been on the. Hey,
Buffy
Supernatural,
the Vampire Slayer.
best show on the CW. Well, was Buffy on the CW? Buffy was on the CW. I don't think Buffy was on the CW.
Or it was called Warner Brothers back then. The Warner Brothers name. Do you remember the WB?
Oh, it was the WB. You're right. So maybe second best show because I like Buffy. I like Buffy.
The racist floor. Come on, my baby. Come on, my honey. Come on, my ragtime girl.
Oh my God.
I didn't know. Like that's still like I don't know how. Was the frog black?
I don't know. I found my wound and I appear to have missed it when I was cleaning my leg. What the fuck? It feels like I'm burning.
You don't want that to get infected, Mike.
I'm
You should put mercurochrome on that.
Robitussin. Pour Robitussin on it like Chris Rock.
You gotta pour that tussin. Are you gonna WebMD it with a picture?
That's funny.
You know, it'd be funny if you were like taking a picture of like your nutsack scar.
Wait, what was filmed in New Jersey? Wait. Everything is trash. Can't remember last time it was a good show filmed in New Jersey because TV shows are a fucking scam. Did you watch Supernatural, by the way, at all?
No.
Oh man,
I didn't know of its existence, and I knew it was a very popular show that was on forever.
you need to watch Supernatural. Like you can basically watch seasons 1 through 6, and then you're good. Like season 6 is probably the best season, I think.
Is it like the Trinity killer of the show? Like it's like that fucking crescendo season where nothing's ever gonna get better than 6?
It's yes. So the original creator of the show was originally going to end at 6, but the CW pressured him to keep going because it was still very popular.
So it got diluted after season 6.
Yes.
I feel
Like I'm rewatching it, and I just
feel that's what happened with Walking Dead. I feel after season 4 they got very diluted, and then I didn't see anything from it. Now check this out. This is what happens when I blink, right? Because like I stopped paying attention to The Walking Dead after about season 5. I maybe watched a few spot episodes here and there, maybe one episode, like the first episode of season 6. I was really falling off at 4. Season 4 was the last full season I watched, and I was like, I'm not watching anymore. I come back years later, and people are just like stormtroopers. Last time where I left off, people had skin masks.
Okay.
And now they're stormtroopers.
because they
And I'm like,
discovered
what the fuck
they
happened?
discovered that they discovered a new place and that their armor is all white. It gets a little stupid, yeah. But
And
like
I'm like, they just diluted it so much. They just kept pouring water in it. Like just like every season was more delusion.
yes, that's exactly why you need to watch Supernatural. Like the Crowley is the best villain ever.
Who is it? Like Aleister Crowley? Supposed to be?
He's the king of hell. He's the king of hell, and
Okay. And his
So-
name is Crowley, or
yes,
is it Aleister
yes.
Crowley?
No, it's his name is Crowley,
Okay.
I think. But that actor's incredible, and like the performance is awesome. It's just the show's ridiculously good. Like they don't. It's because they don't take themselves too seriously. Like there's an episode where they're trying to hide from Satan or Michael. Either they're trying to hide from the Archangel
Angel?
Michael
Yeah.
or Satan. So the angel Castiel sends them like somewhere else. So they don't know where they are, and they realize they're on the set of the show Supernatural.
So it's like the show inside the show?
Yes.
I got
So there's a scene where like they
it's like breaking a fourth wall kind of
yes,
shit?
yes, and then
Okay.
there's a scene where like the devil or whoever sends demons after them into the show or the set of the show, and they go like they shoot at them, and there's Mick G, or the creator of the show, walking eating a donut, and he gets shot by the devil and dies. It's ridiculous.
You know,
Like they don't.
it sounds like I might be into that because, like, even for somebody who's like super non-religious as I am,
The show
like,
doesn't take it seriously.
I love like and I think they might be coming out with another Constantine.
They
Like,
are.
they're trying-
They are.
They
They
are
are.
right with
They are.
Keanu, right?
They are, and he is. Yes.
I loved and the comic book too is the
Comic
graphic
book's
novels-
good.
Yeah.
But the
And
movie was good
is
too.
really good.
Yeah.
And I like shit like, okay, there was a what
He-
the fuck was the
hold
movie?
on.
What was the movie with the guy who played Vision and he played an angel?
Legion.
Legion.
That was
pretty
good too. But the show Legion's better, and it's not the same thing.
It's not about the same thing?
It's Marvel.
Oh, Legion is X-Men.
Yes, it's Marvel.
Yes, Legion's part of X-Men. Yeah.
Yes. That show. Do you ever see the show Legion?
No.
Have you even heard of it?
I heard of it, yes.
Oh,
But I've
that
never watched
show.
it, yeah.
That show is incredible.
Yeah. I know that it has something to do with the X-Men
Yes, I was
universe.
just gonna say that. So, who's, in my opinion, the best person to ever play Satan in anything is in Constantine. That dude.
The German guy, right?
Yeah, that dude
It
is
was the guy-
awesome.
Isn't he one of the fucking goons in fucking Big Lebowski? He plays one of the
Yes, he does. He
what do
does.
they call them? Not the non.
I don't remember.
What do they call them? Not the cynics. They call them something. The nihilists, right? Weren't they called the nihilists?
I think so. I don't remember.
In the Big Lebowski, he was one of the bad guys in the Big Lebowski.
Peter Stormare.
You're gonna tell me though he was good. You're gonna tell me he was better than Al Pacino in fucking Devil's Advocate?
I didn't. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Just the
You
way
think
he.
Al Pacino was a shitty devil? I
Yes.
liked him.
Yes.
Really?
Okay. I'm not a fan of that movie. I don't know why I never liked that movie.
I love that
It
movie.
could also be because I grew up with the illegal box, so I would get pay-per-view channels for free. But pay-per-view channels would play the same movie all day long.
Oh,
so I
sorry.
watched The Devil's Advocate probably 150,000 fucking times. So like it was the first time I saw it, I think I was like, wow, that's a pretty good movie. And then say, okay, here we go again, and again.
I liked it. You know, I don't know. To each his own. But I liked him as the devil. Actually, my favorite devil character, even though that's not what his name was in it, was come on, Tim. Tim. Fuck, I can't remember his last name.
From what movie?
Tim Curry. From Legend.
That's old though. That's old.
1985.
Yeah.
I think.
I just rewatched that recently.
Him in the
Tom
Get-Up.
Cruise, man.
Yeah, and the girl from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, that's right. Whatever happened to her?
I don't know. She maybe did some TV shows in the 90s and stuff, but she didn't do any movies like after the 80s. It just seems like a lot of people didn't want to get like I know like Ali Sheedy refused to do a lot of movies because she got typecasted every time she was
Are you ready for this? She was in
Shoot.
Time Cop.
with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, she was in Time Cop. She's from Brooklyn. I didn't know that.
She's a Guidette. What's her last name?
Yeah. Sarah Pocacello. She's Italian and Roman Catholic. From Brooklyn.
So just
Blah,
Italian.
blah, blah. Her debut role was in Legend. Blah, blah, blah.
And Legend is like
All right.
is that the only fantasy like movie that Tom Cruise ever did? Like like Orlando Bloom did like Lord of the Rings, but he also did like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean. What else has he done, though? He hasn't done anything else.
That was like sort of CGI over the top.
No, but what has he done? What has Orlando Bloom done besides those movies?
Orlando Bloom has made movies. Didn't he do chick flicks also? He was like the romantic interest.
But you can't name them. I'm just saying. I'm not saying
I
that
never watched
because
them.
we. Yes. Okay. Blah blah blah. She's married to Sean Connery's son. Oh, they divorced in 2002. Never mind.
Who the
So-
fuck is Sean Connery's son? I don't even know. Like,
She hasn't
What?
done. Her last movie was in 2013, but it was a short film. It wasn't even. What? Interesting. She did it. She was in an episode of CSI New York.
that's what I'm saying. She did TV shows and shit.
She was in Birds of Prey, the TV show. Huh. Interesting.
Birds of Prey was like DC Universe, right?
Yes. She's Harley Quinn.
It's like Nightwing and fucking and the Robins is Birds of Prey, right?
And Harley Quinn, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
I think so.
as an extension of the Joker, which is like
Wow.
what Harley Quinn is like,
Alright, where the hell did that go now? Let's see. Oh, did that work?
What did what work, Mike?
I don't know. I'm. There we go. Nightwing has grown up Robin, apparently. Oh,
Yeah.
I knew that. I knew that.
It's the first Robin, and then
Yeah.
the second Robin gets killed by the Joker in Death in a Family, and then there's a third Robin who ends up also like there's just I don't know after the third one I don't know, but I know Dick Grayson becomes Nightwing.
Yeah, which is in Titans.
I don't know after the third one I don't know.
Not Teen
But I
Titans,
know
the show
Dick Grayson
Titans.
becomes Nightwing.
And apparently Doom Patrol's done, right? Which is in Titans. Do you
I
ever
don't
watch
know
Doom
after the
Patrol?
third one, I don't know. watch Doom Patrol.
Not Teen Titans, the Show Titans.
So this is how the show usually
apparently
ends.
Doom Patrol's done, right?
With this
You ever
kind
watch Doom
of
Patrol?
epic void.
Not Teen Titans, the Show
And
Titans.
thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. S. Milton Broomley, thanks for coming by. Heidi, thanks for stopping by. Hilliston, as usual, thanks for coming by. Like, subscribe. S. Milton Bromley. Who else? I don't know where Raymond is. And Bacon for 20 days missing forever. So, see you guys Wednesday.